convincing handshake, you'll see. 7 points, the gap between these two sides at the start. 7 points. It remains 0-0 like it was in this fixture a year ago. 19 attempts from Liverpool, 6 from United. United coming to this as the second top scorers in the Premier League with 21 goals. Just the one shot on target. That's their least by a distance this season compared to Liverpool's 5. And look at those touches in the opposition box. 32 from Liverpool, only 6 from United. That is 11 below their previous lowest before this game. It was 65-35 in terms of possession in this fixture last year. Only a slight change. Liverpool down to 62%, United 38. Graham Souness, Thierry Henry with us in the studio. Graham, a lot of people just say, look, it's another draw, it's another 0-0. Overall, how good a game was it?
It wasn't great. I think we got what we feared we were going to get. You know, the onus is on Liverpool to come in and win the game. You know, they're at home, they're 7 points behind. Man United sitting top of the league. If they don't get bit here today, that's a good result. Liverpool really had to win it today. I thought Man United turned up with a game plan. You heard Jose before the game when he was asked about possession. Say, that's not important to him, that's for the mathematicians. And he sacrifices that. He set his team up today not to get beat, and they did it. You know, you're thinking of Matip's effort, chance, half effort, half chance. Other than that, you know, for all the possession, Liverpool did not work the gear. Man United leave here the happier team.
Well, they turned up here in terrific form. 6 wins in 7, a chance to put a 10-point gap between themselves and Liverpool if they've got a win. Did you expect more from Mourinho today, or was that exactly what you expected?
Exactly what I expected. They gave us the game that we expected, not the one that we wanted to see. This is not the first time that Mourinho comes here with his team and does this type of job. And I remember well, last season, Zlatan nearly won it on the only opportunity that they had. And the same thing happened today. Romelu Lukaku nearly won it with the only opportunity that they had to win the game. So yes, I think he didn't want to get beaten, and let's see if we can win it. And they had a 1v1 situation to win the game. So that's exactly what we expected at the beginning. Liverpool to be on the ball, trying to open them up. You know that Man United are not going to try to open them up from deep because that's what Liverpool likes. And so they're going to wait and sit and try to get them on the break. That's what we expected. It nearly worked, and he was on the break. By the way, it was a good action for it with, I think it was Martial, Mkhitaryan that played with Lukaku that played with Martial again, and he had the 1v1. So they had a piece of great opportunity, a piece of, if I can say, brilliance in one movement, but they could have won it. And Mourinho, at the end of the day, again, comes here, he doesn't lose, and he gets away with a point.
But he must have been nervous in the 34th minute for a split second, because this one moves so quickly. The chance falls to Matip. A moment of brilliance, as we come to expect from David De Gea once again.
How many times have we seen him stopping shots, efforts with his feet? You know, right place, right time, just keep the ball out the back of your net. He does this. Lukaku is slow in getting out here, otherwise Firmino's offside. Great reaction by Matip, but an even better one from De Gea. I mean, he is a top goalkeeper. He's arguably the best one around. Watch. Change his feet, he's trying to get on his toes so he can transfer his weight. He does. He's super. You know, he's light, isn't he? He's light framed, so he can transfer his weight very quickly. Look, on his toes behind there. He's alive to every situation. Whenever the ball's anywhere near him,
full speed is
he's on his toes. Sensational.
I mean, you're right. At full speed, it just underlines it's exceptional, isn't it?
What I like with him is the decision that he takes straight away. I'm going to go with my feet. Because if you go with your hand, by the time you go down, it's a goal. Matip would have been celebrating that goal. But that's not the first time that he does it. And what a save. I mean, this is, for me, the best action of the match. That tells you a lot about the game.
I think the 6 touches from Man United in the opposition box tells you that they weren't committing people forward. It was a mission impossible for Lukaku today. You know, he was fighting a lone battle up there, sometimes against both centre-halves. And the 6 touches in opposition, I think you'd have to go back a long, long way before you'd find a stat like that about Man United.
Well, we have been praising David De Gea. Let's hear from him now with Jeff Shreves. I love the way when talking about this as I tried to react. My goodness, he did react and to great effect as well. Let's talk about that chance. 56th minute, it came from Emre Can. The ball through from the man of the match in the end, Joe Gomez. What did he get wrong in terms of how he tried to take the chance?
You can't have a go at him. He tried to be at the end of that cross. You see him here missing his control. The ball's going to come to Joe Gomez. He makes an amazing run. And this is one of those balls where you put yourself at it and try to see if you can score. That's a difficult skill. Very difficult skill. We were talking about it off air. Can he go with his right foot, with his left foot? You just have to touch it. It's not an easy one, right?
There's not a great amount of pace on the ball either. You know, if there was more pace, just the slightest flick would have taken it past De Gea. But difficult skill. We could say he should have gone with his right, and he puts it over the bar, then you'd be saying he should have gone with his left. Difficult, because there's not enough pace on the ball for me.
Jamie Carragher's been giving us our in-game analysis right throughout the match. We can join him now. And Jamie, as you now reflect on what's happened here, same scoreline as this game last season. For Liverpool, as you look back on it, is this a missed opportunity?
Yes, I think so. I mean, listen, people, the lads in the studio saying for Manchester United coming here, a point's always a good result. It's not the worst result in the world for Liverpool before the season starts, when the big sides come to Anfield. But because Liverpool have dropped points already this season to teams they're expected to beat, you felt the game there. Could Liverpool make that last push? And yes, Klopp made changes, but he still kept the solidity of that three-man midfield. And I just felt Man United showed such a lack of ambition, really, in terms of going forward. I think that was a risk well worth taking, especially with maybe leaving Coutinho on it and bringing another attacking player on. He still left those three players there. Yes, you can get done on the counter-attack, but I just think Man United set the stall out early on. It was obvious they'd come for a nil there and just hoping for something, maybe from a set-piece or a counter-attack, but it wasn't the forefront of the mind, really, trying to hit Liverpool and counter-attack them, really. So I think it was a risk Liverpool should have taken, and taken wide of Wijnaldum off or Chan.
Why do you think he reserved about taking that kind of risk in these kind of games?
Well, he's worried about losing the game, of course. Yes, Liverpool weren't playing poorly. Liverpool haven't played poorly today. Liverpool have played quite well. But they still didn't have the real big... They had the one big chance from Matip, but you want a little bit more than that. And that comes from the way Manchester United play. The reason Man United don't do nothing going forward is because they've got so many men behind the ball and defending so well. So it's not easy. And as a manager, you think, do I take that chance? I just think that chance should have been taken earlier, and the substitution should have been not just player for player. It should have been more tactical, really. And that would have given Liverpool an extra attacking player on the pitch. And listen, we don't know. It could have cost Liverpool the game. It could have won them the game. But I think the position Liverpool are in now, with points dropped also this season, it was a game they had to really try and go and win.
And where you look at them now in terms of what's happening in terms of the title race, I know you've already said this season you don't see Liverpool as title contenders, but if City do the business, as we might expect them to do, the United fans still here, as you can well hear behind you, then the gap's 10 points. So with 8 games gone, that's already an absolute mountain.
Of course it is, but even at the start of this season, I don't think most Liverpool fans would think Liverpool were going to win the title or really contest. Well, I certainly didn't. I think Liverpool will be more interested in Arsenal's results, really. Maybe Spurs, Chelsea. I'm sure those two will think they're quite capable of catching the two Manchester clubs. Still a long way to go, but I think Liverpool will be looking more around people who are in the going for top 4 positions and whether they're dropping points and how far they are behind those positions.
Jamie, for now, thanks very much. Well, you could probably hear the fans. There they are, the United fans still here at Anfield, beginning to make their way home. I wonder what their reflection will be on today's game. Let's reflect, boys, on that Herrera and Coutinho coming together in the second half. It was a shout of penalty of sorts. Was it for you?
Of sorts, not for me. I think he's looking for it. He's got such quick feet. You've got to be very careful when he gets in and around your box. I mean, I think he's looking for that. I think he could have stayed up. I think he's looking for that. Another day he might get it.
Because he's looking for it, Thierry, though, does that discount it from being a penalty for you? Or are you in agreement?
I think when I saw it first, I thought it was on the pen, and that's what the ref must have seen also. He was in a good position, by the way. He sees it all, and he's judging that it's on the pen. I just think that Coutinho is putting his body in and waits for the leg of Herrera. Obviously, the leg is coming. Well, I don't think there was any malicious way of trying to bring him down. It would have been a harsh pen for me. Right,
time now to hear from Jurgen Klopp. He's with Jeff Shreves. Well, boys, let's get your take on Lukaku and Lovren. Was there anything in it for you?
Not for me. I don't think he's that type of boy, and I think when we see it, both his feet get tangled up with Lovren. Mourinho bounces off Lukaku there. Now he's on the ground, and I think when you see Lukaku's left foot, he's actually brushing Lovren here. This coming up with his left foot, and I think that knocks him off balance. Now he's slight stumble. I don't think there's any intent there. I don't believe he's...
Same for you, Thierry?
Yeah, I'll second that. I don't think there is any malicious thing there.
Let's talk about Mo Salah's game. It was a real bright spark, particularly in that first half. We're looking for the big players to deliver on the big stage. OK, we didn't get a goal. How good a game of truth did he have?
Well, it was good. He was lively. What you wanted is something at the end of it. He looked like he was one of the most important players in the first half. He died, obviously, in the second half for obvious reason. I think what happened to him during the week, qualifying, and the emotion that he had coming back. But he did look lively, turning. What I like with him is always trying to go forward. When you give him that ball in the pocket or anywhere on the field, he's trying to go forward. He's not giving you that ball back. He's there and trying to make something happen. every single time. And yes, I think today was a bit less fresh. That's why I think he died in the second half a tiny bit. But I like his commitment when he has the ball. He always wants to have a go. Maybe this one he had to leave the ball to Coutinho, and maybe Coutinho would have scored. But he's always having a go at you, and that's very difficult to defend.
What were the big positives for you today, Graham, from a Liverpool point of view?
Well, yeah, they bossed the game to a point, and De Gea had 5 shots to save. When you have that much possession as they did, you'd want to be testing the goalkeeper more. This was always going to be predictable, really. We talked at the start of the game that we need a goal. We need Liverpool to score another goal. We thought, or we ended up knowing what Man U were going to do. They were going to come there, not commit people forward. The 6 touches in Liverpool's box suggest that they've never committed anyone forward. And I think it was fairly predictable. Klopp will be frustrated because he's not won the game today. On the day, for me, the special players just didn't produce that little bit of magic that give them clear enough chances to score and to win the game. You know, we're talking about Matip, a centre-half, having the best chance of all. So for me, Liverpool didn't do enough, or the special players didn't do enough. There's a reason for that. They've all been travelling, playing in games. For Man United, as I've said already, I think they'll leave the stadium the happier team. They've come with a game plan. It was like them playing away in a big European game. They've come there not to get beat. We've got the second game at home, and we'll turn this team over at home. And I think that was Man United's approach, and they did it really well. And that's what we expect from Jose Mourinho's teams.
We will talk more about Romelu Lukaku's day overall when we come back after the break. But let's look at that big opportunity. It came in the 43rd minute. If you're looking to work a goalkeeper better, he has to do better here, doesn't he? The form he's in coming into this
I think he wasn't in the right frame of mind. I think his frustration got the best out of him there. But still, you have to work the keeper a bit better, keep it low and try to score. That's the perfect height for the goalkeeper, and obviously Mignolet saves it. But I think with what happened a tiny bit before that, not getting the ball, you know, I think he was I think he was too eager to show everybody that he can score against a big team, and he's fully aware of that people are going to mention that after the game, if obviously now we know he didn't score. But you have to concentrate, stay calm. That was your moment. And he will have another moment, I'm sure, during the season to score against big teams. But he had his moment. I think he wasn't at that particular moment in the right frame of mind to execute what he had to execute.
Jurgen Klopp felt they were worth 3 points today. Do you agree? I mean, you expect managers to be positive and bullish when they come out in their interviews.
Yeah, they were the team that were trying to win the game. They had more chances, more of the ball. But for me, again, here at Anfield, for me, I'm expecting more. You know, the creative players, the talent they have in their team, they weren't bang at it today. And I think there's a legitimate reason for that. A lot of travelling, bit of tiredness, emotional high, emotional lows. And I think a draw at the end of the day, I'm being a professional, looking at it from both sides. You know, I'm trying to, you know, as hard as it is from it's Man United, they came and did a really good job today. They came here not to get beaten. They were treating it like a European game, and they came today and to a man stood the ground and limited Liverpool to very little.
But if you're a Liverpool fan making your way home, you're probably saying, well, that's exactly what we'd have expected from Manchester United in this game. So why, therefore, is it yet again the same outcome?
Because Liverpool do struggle against teams that sit deep. They just do. It's difficult for them to open them up, even more so when a team has the quality of Man United. We've seen that since Klopp has arrived, he has a bad record against teams that sit deep. And that's why against the top 4 teams, he struggled against United. Well, I mean, United finished out of the top 4 last year, but we know how they went in the Champions League.
Do you think United are going home the happier team?
Yes, because I think that's what he wanted today. Mm-hmm. And I think Klopp put it the best way. They wanted a draw and see if they could win. We wanted to win. So at the end of the day, whoever, that match is what they wanted, United. But I'll go back to what you were saying. Yes, guys are travelling. Yes, it's difficult. Yes, this and that. But how come Ronaldo and Messi can perform? And they're travelling also, some of them in South America. You have to find a way to play well. No, but I'm saying you have more than those guys. I know it's difficult, but you have to find a way to open up teams. And I know it's not easy, but you have to find a way.